Hey, welcome back to Metro Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's currently the April 4th streaming or vids video. Perhaps a video. It's April 4th and we are in the casual lobby of Jateki.net. We are playing Hitchcock, which is my low stack. It just made Netrunner DB decklist of the week. Need to know not to play stupid. Best of luck, have fun. And I've actually made some changes to the deck, just because I've been playing it a lot over the last week or so, and we're trying some of the changes today. We're going to see how they go exactly. A lot of the changes were against acid type decks, and this doesn't seem to be one. Our hand is honestly not that bad. Like, we have money. It's good to get Aaron down early just because this deck is likely to run hostile takeover. We have access to one breaker at least, and we can always figure out what we need to siphon. So I think we'll keep this. I think this is okay. I guess the majority of the changes that we've done to this deck so far, I think, what do? We dropped some ice analyzers, we added a medium, I think, and we added bank job and a scrubber, just because I didn't like acids. Like, it was actually kind of hard to deal with acids, and that's kind of in meta right now. That's really good, so we can know what they're drawing into. They're on 6 credits, and there's a chance they wanted to, if they had a hostile and takeover in hand, not score it just yet. So I think we can draw once more and then sure gamble and then play the Aaron Moran, and we'll still be in 5 cards, which is pretty sweet. We have a compromised employee too, so ideally we want the career fair on an Earthrise hotel, because that technically costs a bit more. But I think it's better to put this down. Next turn we can, in theory, put down, we can compromise a career fair out the compromised employee and ask them if they want to res this. And if that's a hostile there, we got the Aaron out just in time, and now they also have to respect Aaron Moran Siphon. Like, we can go real good Siphon. You gotta expect that they're running this. They also might be running a kill deck, some sort of money differential deck. So it's probably okay that we get some good money early. Drawing into Temujin would be really good, and maybe we'll draw once just because we could, in theory, career fair down to Temujin, and that's also really, really good. So, what are they doing with tokens? I love Titan. I actually played a lot of Titan in the competitive when it came out, the year it came out. I played in regionals with Titan a couple times and did pretty well with it. I was running mid-seasons at the time, and this was before consulting visits, so it was actually like a pretty... You had to have a good draw. That's good too. I think we can drop once more, putting us in 7. And a bank job is probably not that great in this matchup unless they install like a Mark Yale, and even then they can pop it. So I guess we'll just put down the career fair onto the compromised employee and click for a credit. Now if we forge this card here, they have to res it, or they can choose to trash it, right? And then Siphon could be an issue, so I imagine they'll res it, and we'll get at least 3 credits. They pay 1 for this. It's also good that we forge this, so we know what it is. We do have to respect, in theory, we do have to respect Archer, because they have this scored. I mean, the fact that they're putting in 2 pieces of ice means they're probably have an agenda in hand and are looking to score it. So I think it's fine. Okay, we didn't find a Siphon, but that's okay. I think we can forge this. We could also, in theory, put down the bank job and run this server and see if they res. But let's forge this. If it's an Archer, they can choose to res it, and it's a Murumati. So we could, in theory, special order for I think we'll special order for our Barrier Breaker anyways and discard it. Let's drop once more. That's great. That's actually really good. So let's special order for our Paperclip because we need it. Right now, Weyland doesn't run that many big barriers that are worth actually like aggressively derezzing. Maybe if they're running Firewall. I guess they could be running Bulwark. We'll find out. So we'll get Paperclip and throw it in the bin. If they are running Arc Lockdown, they'll have to have it in the first like 9 cards. And that's fine. We have another Barrier Breaker, so I'm not that worried. So they're drawing up because I think they know they need a piece of ice here. Otherwise, they'll Siphon. And money's also good for them, too. There's not much we have to respect, so I think we can actually run R&D. We could also consider putting down the bank job and running the server for money, because either way, we'll get money. Like, if they res, they'll get money. If they don't res, this is more likely to be a Veritas or something taxing, while this is more likely just to be end the run. If it's an Enigma, it might suck, but even if they res an Archer here just to stop us from bank jobbing, that's cool. So let's see, like, res an Ice Wall. We also have, it's better to put the Paperclip in the bin too, because we're going to use our bed pub. And they're just letting us in, which is fantastic. So we'll get a run ability, we'll take 8. That's obviously not too bad at all. And we have a Multithreader, which is one of the new includes in this, and it's not something we probably need to install anytime soon. We could draw again, but we'll have to discard a card. This card is another thing we have to worry about for Archer, so I don't want to install it yet because I think we're going to face check R&D. We don't want to run last click because we run Snare. That's not that big of an issue because of Aaron, but anything that gives us a tag, we'll use our Aaron token. So I think we'll just money up just so that we don't have to respect. We technically don't have to respect mid-seasons. I think the best thing now is we do need a sentry breaker. And we technically need a Kogia breaker if we want to face check this. I think we'll face check this anyways. And see if they res. If they res something to keep us out, like even if they res an archer and it trashes our paperclip, will we install that? I'm cool to find out what this is. Even if we lose some of these cards to a trap, it's not that big of a deal. So that's a quandary. So that actually is going to keep us out. We got money for that. So in theory, we can special order for our Peregrine. But if this is an archer, we will lose it. And if this is an Atlas, they get a token on it. So I think we have to let that go. Emergency shutdown doesn't really do much right now. Legwork's actually probably worth doing considering they drew up. We pay 2 for this. We install our this for 3. We bake for 3, so we're paying 3, 6, 7, 8, putting us down to 15. So they could, in theory, mid-seasons us, but it wouldn't be that profitable. Also, we have this for the link, so yeah, fuck it. I think this might work out. Right, they've been drawing heavily and they're kind of pressured to score. We might get something here. They also may be running high risk. Fast track, okay, this might be a fast advance deck. That actually could be a Sansan City grid. Self-adapting code wall. That's always a weird include. And a guard, which means this is a rush deck. So this could be a fast advance. This also could be a trash deck. I'm thinking that's a Project Atlas, which is fine because now we have counters on this thing. We actually probably should have used these counters because we assumed we were going to get more. And now they have access to just about any card, so we really have to set up as fast as we can. So I think we can draw twice with this. Now I think running R&D is fine too. They can always use this counter when we run R&D last click, but what can they do with fast track? We also haven't seen any fast advance options just yet. We haven't seen any influence either, so they could be running Biotic. Biotic's pretty good. So I think we can draw twice with this, hopefully find a medium. Shutdown doesn't do anything. Siphon's really sweet right now. I think that's exactly what we want. So we're going to break this only for 2 with the bad pub, and then we can draw up for free, remove the tags to Aaron, get all our options, hopefully draw our medium. It's going to put them down on 7, so it's like we're even further apart when it comes to respecting any sort of tag punishment. So we get the run ability there. Draw up, draw up. I think fuck it, we'll play the emergency shutdown. Like, how many cards do we not know? We've seen 3 of their cards in hand. And they just threw out 1. So we probably don't know 2 of these. I think we can afford to run R&D here. We can also shut down the Quandary, which is... like, the idea of it shutting down the Quandary... oh, maybe we want to hold the shutdown until they res an Archer. Yeah, let's see what we can get here. I wish we drew into a medium. It's only a 1 of. I think we also took out the turning wheel, which is an issue. And that's a Mouseless. So that fires, but at least we made 3 credits on it. And giving a tag, we have 1 click to clear the tag. We lost a sure gamble, that's kind of a bummer. Single access. So Oakdown, that's good. So now we can remove the tag, but I think we want to keep these just so that we can like power siphon again. And we have nothing really good to do this turn. I don't think we're going to use a Multithreader. That's better for a Glacier deck. This is one of the new includes, and it honestly hasn't done its job so far. I'm not convinced about it. So I also took Exploit out of this deck just because a lot of times, like that card was good in very rare circumstances in which the ice wasn't too taxing and expensive. So I don't know. Exploit now would actually be pretty cool, but I think we just run HQ, de-res this with Emergency Shutdown. I think that'll actually be pretty good. So they added another Project Atlas to HQ. So they're kind of taunting us here. They kind of are, which means this has to be an end-to-run sentry. Or they could just be bluffing the Code Gate thing, so... Scrubber, no good. Temujin is okay, but that's an Atlas, and if they score that, they're really close to game point. So I think... like, that's the problem, is if we do lose our... Peregrine, we're going to be in a really rough spot, because then we have no way to break the Quandary. We just have to de-res it. And this is not like a card that's easy to de-res on res. What's the chance that this is an Archer? It's actually pretty likely. Even if it's a guard, it's not like terrible. I talked to Aaron, he says it's cool if I take this one. This also could be a trap in theory. I'm not entirely sure. If we also drew into our medium, one of our options is just to run HQ, shut this down, and then put Temujin R&D, go nuts on R&D, because they can't afford. Right? If they re-res this, they're at 5. If they res this, they're at 3, and they could still score, but they won't have money. The thing is, I think we can afford to draw here. A Siphon's actually pretty good. Because if we do Siphon them, we'll have 2 tags, which I think we might be able to float. because they don't have one of these counters yet. We haven't seen other kill options, so that actually might be risky. I think that's fine anyways. They'll put them on 4. If they score this, they go down to 1. Let's see if they res this. I think if they res this is also a huge mistake because it gives us money. And it gets them closer to 0. Maybe siphoning here is not good. So run ability, now we have 34. If they res the archer, they can't score. But I think we might be able just to pivot here. We're only going to see 1 card off of R&D. That obviously sucks. Do we just take the risk? Like, if they res the archer, they'll have 2 credits because archer will fire. And we'll lose our Peregrine. Yeah, in for a penny, huh? Let's see if we die. Oh, fuck, we don't have enough clicks. What are we doing? What were we thinking? Nah, oops. Oh, that was bad. Oh, what are we doing? Not even enough clicks for that. Didn't count M clicks. And in theory, they could boom us. Highly unlikely. Undo if you want. Yeah. Yeah, fuck, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2. Put this back. Shuffle that. That was not smart. Not a brilliant play. Technically, we also have the scrubber 8. Yeah, I think we'll just take our odds here. We're already tagged, so if they res this, fine. I don't think they will. And the best thing we can do is find an agenda. We're also going to get Aaron tokens when they score this, picking them down to 0. Hostile. Ooh, that's actually really good, because now we can, in theory, clear these tags. And we don't need to take any risks here. Oh, Peregrine's also on top now. That's awesome. We shuffled, right? Did we shuffle? Yeah, we did. Wow, that's unlikely. We got 2 more tokens, so maybe we didn't have to use those right now. But now, like, I think we draw up with these aggressively, try and find the medium, because that might close the game. 1, 2, nothing. Well, I guess we'll just put this on R&D. They can't res. And we'll go nuts here. We can throw out a lot of these cards. Not a lot of them are necessary. We also have so much money. Vanilla. I think we go just HQ now. Get as many X's in as we can. Maybe we want to put Turning Wheel back. Jackson Howard, trash for 3. Yep. We get 1 more here. They can't afford Snare. They can't really fast advance without this enough money. We're not running Recursion, and maybe we actually want to put same old things in this deck. So let's see. Bank Job doesn't seem necessary. Scrubber, not necessary. We have so much money that I don't think we're going to use the Sahasrara. We have enough shutdowns. Or we only have 1 shutdown left. Career Fair we probably don't need. Actually, Career Fairing this down is, yeah, it's probably not that great. I think this might have more value in it because they're more likely to run cards with Trace on it, like Veritas, I think. Maybe Shadow. Let's see what they do now. They can pull at any point in time. We know they have a Vanilla. We haven't seen what they've thrown out, but we know they have a Guard, a Vanilla, maybe a Code Wall, and I think we now just faceplant into this. And we'll de-res it if they res it. We might want to actually have drawn there to find the medium, but the medium's now 1 in 20. I don't think they can afford to res this now. But maybe they should, just because otherwise we're going to siphon them. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I think that's a big mistake. So it's 3. Sure, this is expensive for us. We made 3, though, and, like, I'd rather... It's so much better when they don't have money. Like, we don't technically have to reinstall this. So now they're down to 0, and that's kind of what the Bird Breakers do. Is if you can, like, get the credit differential. Beanstalk royalties, though, that's not gonna help. That's gonna help them. Earthrise is good. Oh, I regret throwing this out. That's fine. So now what? They Earthrise. I mean, they Beanstalks. Now we put the Peregrine down again. They know this server isn't safe. We can also like put this down and leave it on the table, and then pull out our what's it called? Oh, another piece of ice. At 3, I don't think there's anything we have to respect. Actually, we have to respect Sapper. We do have to respect Sapper. Oh, no, we can just forge this. So we'll forge this so they trash it. Because they can't afford... Oh, that was such 2 good draws. They can't afford the Mouseless in the innermost position, so they have to trash it. Now we can forge this. And now we can forge this one. And we'll see what it is, so we see if we have to install. If they res also, we get money. It's a vanilla, so we should have known that. We can see the top card of R&D. If it's trashable, we'll run again. Otherwise, we need our medium. We just made credits on this. We break this for free. I don't think they should have installed this. I don't think it's good enough of a tax. Atlas, always good. Let's go one more time. Pay the bad pub. And that's the last Atlas, which is a big deal because now they have to score a 4-2. And also we have another, they can't score 2 hostiles out. They might if they can score now, which I don't think they can. They might want to actually pull an agenda with their counter, but this server is not safe anymore. Restructure, they're a long ways away from that. Okay. Yeah, I think keeping the career fair was definitely better. We're also not respecting Sapper technically when we access, so I think maybe we should plonk down our Mongoose. Oh no, actually it doesn't matter, because if they Sapper this, it's really not that big of a deal. Cancels effective Project Atlas. Cool, I didn't know you could cancel effects. That's awesome. So they clicked on the thing to use it. I don't know whether that means they have to shuffle their deck or not. Oh no, because it shows it in alphabetical order. Another piece of ice there. That's our medium. If they trash that, we're going to be upset. I think we can face plant into this. What could it be? It could be a Veritas. Really, it's kind of inconsequential. So let's find out what it is. Because the other option is we have to get our thing down. It's probably the guard, actually. Which I'm fine with them rezzing. Guard we big for 3, which is kind of expensive. But at least it puts them down to 0. Yeah, that's the guard. Okay, cool. So we made money on that. So let's not show the medium. What we're going to do is we're going to pull out our Sentry Breaker. What's better? Actually, Golden's expensive, but if we derez this, what do we pay 6 to derez this? I think we can afford that. Because otherwise it's 3 to break each time or 6 to break once. I like the sound of that one. And we can go in now and derez it, and I think that's probably fine, even without the medium. So we'll go in, pay 2. This is really expensive, but they have no ice. And if they res it again, we get 3 more credits. And break this for 1. And it's a bit cheaper with the bad pub as well, of course. And we're getting 4 back with Temujin. Hopefully we draw into another Temujin. It's kind of what we need now. We also might want to check archives at some point soon. Snare. Ooh, nice. They don't have money for that. So let's trash that. So they are more likely trying to kill us than anything else. So let's keep some tokens on Aaron. So now that we have all our breakers, we don't need that. Oh, we could actually just emergency shut down that. Yeah, that's probably a lot better than spending all the money we did. And I'll keep Passport just in case. Compromised Employee, I don't think we're going to get that much value of, considering they're at 0 credits. And they're probably just going to be clicking for credits. I think ideally we draw into a Forge Activation Order, and then we forge this so they have to trash it. And then we just plonk down the medium. If we don't draw, we just plonk down the medium and go. Credit. Yeah, that Peregrine was bad. Yeah, we should have forged. I got to consider my whole hand before deciding to derez things. Project Atlas for Beanstalk royalties. Okay, cool. So that thread is off. So now I'm totally good. Oh, legwork is okay, but we see most of the cards they've drawn. So I'm not actually that on board with it yet. Let's run this. Let's see if they res it. If they res it, we'll just legwork and then shut down. If they draw their Marcus Yale, okay, they're letting us have that. That's interesting. So we break this for free. They might be running Cyberdeck's Fire Suite if they're fast advancing, but it looks like it might be a kill deck if they're spending influence on snare. They can afford the snare. So they can trash these programs in theory. We also now have to respect. We do now technically have to respect Sapper, but in for a penny. Let's see if they panic and res this. I think they, yeah, there you go. Oh, and that's kind of smart because now we can't pivot on it. So that at least ends the run. And I think we want this down just to draw into more of our economy. Yeah, we'll keep an Aaron just so we can run last click and not have to fear snare. And sure, when they don't have that much money, it's not that scary. So I think now we run HQ, res this, and just be as obnoxious as possible. Ooh, that's really good. And hopefully they do res their Murumati. So let's go see as many cards as we can here. This might actually not be the ideal time to legwork, considering we've seen most of their things. And they might actually not res that just so they can hedge fund, right? If we derez this. Biotic, ooh, fast advance, restructure. Hedge fund. Row. So now let's pivot here. We might want to check archives. I doubt the throwing away agendas, but it's good form. 4 cards face down. That's good form. And they're holding mostly money in Biotic. So you see where the game plan is. And they did res that. They did, in fact, res that. Maybe we should have put down our thing first. And what else do we have to do? Let's check archives. I don't even know if we need to put the Temujin down. So two of these, I don't know why they're running this unless they're trashing programs. Like this ice is not particularly good unless you're trashing programs, or you're playing what's it called, Sandberg, because otherwise everyone breaks it for 1, and it costs 3, like infinitely more than vanilla. They're on 3 credits. And 1 card passed through that we don't know, but again, it's gonna be hard for them to fast events because we've got the only 3/2 that Weyland has. Like we have all their 3/2s. I think we still want to de-res this, so yeah, okay, let's put this on R&D. Oh, we have to install this thing too. Run R&D. Match. If we had Cipher, this would be 2 credits cheaper. That's always good. De-res it, put it back. We can afford to do this because we're making 4 credits every time we run this now. And how much money they spend on this card? 12 credits? Like, that's Los. That's what the birds do with Los, particularly. It's good fun. No Sapper. Please no Sapper. See some cards with medium. Corporate sales team. That'll seal the game. Mana Mouseless. Good game. Thanks for the game. Yeah, that's the thing, is like if you rush specifically against the Bird Breakers, if you rush it to score agendas to put yourself on low credits, now this deck has medium, it's a lot better capitalizing. But if you can de-res, you too. If you can capitalize on the fact that you have a lot of money, they don't have a lot of money, they're going to be spending money re-resing things because they have no way to protect the server. Like the best ice technically they have is vanilla. And yeah, we don't have our Saker, and even if we had our Saker, no, it's not worth de-resing this. Unless you had exploit, I guess, but it's not worth de-resing it. So far, the changes have been okay. Actually, all the changes we made weren't that useful, besides medium, but we added medium to this deck a while ago. But all the other changes weren't that relevant. I wanted to know whether this was an archer, whether we were too cautious, but they have left the game since. So that's a bummer, but let's see what this is. What else do we have drawing up? Siphon was coming up next, which was going to be a big issue for them, and then we just had Ciphers, and all these other cards are not that important. Dope. Well, that's Hitchcock, Unleash the Birds. It's been a lot of fun. It plays like really differently against different matchups. It does struggle a bit with more of the acid heavy matchups, and that's why we did some changes in here with the bank jobs and the scrubber, and I wanted to see how much work that will do. Still not convinced about the Multithreader. Not sure what to do with that one influence. I was thinking day job, but that also seems way too slow. Maybe we'll put an ice analyzer back in. Yeah, maybe just 1. Yeah, maybe we'll keep 1. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. We got content on this channel, comes out most weekday nights, and we're streaming Thursday, 8:45 Eastern. Love for you to drop by. It's generally a really fun time. Thanks for watching. Ciao.